Hello and welcome to Chilling and Chatting with a Dilophosaur. I am your hostess, Authoress Dilophosaur, and this is my second New Game Plus playthrough of Resident Evil, the remake, on the PS5. I've already played as the main female protagonist, Jill, twice. Once on very easy mode and once on easy mode. And now I am going to play as Chris, the main male protagonist, on very easy mode, and I will explain why after the introductory cutscenes.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, I've played enough that I can choose some of my costumes. As you can see, this is Jill Valentine. This is the original outfit that she would play in. This is her BSAA, Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance outfit, which she wore in, I believe, Resident Evil 5, and maybe Resident Evil Revelations, and maybe Revelations 2, but I've never played any of those games. So I can't say for the Revelations games for sure. This is her original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis outfit. Haven't played that game. Haven't played... Whoop! I have a new kitten who's playing around in the background, so if you hear her things being knocked over or batted around or meowing, that's her. I haven't played most of the Resident Evil games. This is the only Resident Evil game I've played. And then this is her military outfit. But we are going to play as Chris. And I think playing in his original outfit will be fine. We can actually change outfits in-game. So... let's get started.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone, situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Haven't found it yet?
No, not yet, Brad. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. The Bravo Team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact.
Look, Chris.
Bravo Team's helicopter was a derelict. Save for the remaining body of Kevin. We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare. this way. Damn it! Make for that mansion! There are only 3 S.T.A.R.S members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Is everyone all right?
Barry. Where's Barry?
He's...
No. What was that?
I'll go and check it out.
All right. Jill and I will stay and secure this area.
Chris? Take care.
Yeah.
So yes, I've already played as Jill twice because I actually watched people play Resident Evil before I ever started playing it myself. And Jill, in some ways, is a much easier character to play than Chris, because in this game you will have limited ammunition, you will have limited saves, and there's a lot of very close, like very narrow hallways that you will have to navigate. And so part of the game is item management, particularly ammunition and healing items, and picking and choosing which enemies are worth a kill. Like, case in point, we don't have to kill this zombie. We can just, as both Jill and Chris, we can just run back into the dining room. And then we will run back into the foyer.
Wesker? Jill? Where did they go?
Now we can get our gun, which we will really be needing. And now we can start kind of running around. As you can see, we have these couple of doors, and then there's a back door under these stairs on the first floor. There's a door leading out to the cemetery right there. And then there are 4 doors, 3 of which, I believe, at this point in time, are locked. And our comrades are nowhere to be seen. We're going to switch over to the handgun, because right now that's a lot easier for me to use. I don't have a lot of good experiences with the survival knives. And we're going to go in here first. But Jill, being not as broad of frame as Chris is a lot, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but it definitely makes a difference with how easy it is to maneuver around things in hallways. Whereas, especially if you're not used to playing as Chris, which I'm not, this is the second time that I've played him. The first time was on normal difficulty, and let's just say I was not very good at it. She can get around enemies with noticeable more ease than Chris can. You really have to learn how to take advantage of all the attacking frames. How the zombies set themselves up to try and grab you, to kind of navigate around things as Chris. And here's our first dagger. Emergency evade. Using defensive items such as daggers will allow you to escape momentarily when grabbed by an enemy. However, you will not be able to escape when the enemy grabs you from behind. To equip a defensive item, go to the status screen and then select an item from the defensive item menu. Then select the equip command. If your defensive item mode is set to manual in the controller settings, you must press L2 to use the defensive item. And since this is a very easy mode, I'm just going to leave things on auto. And we're about to get a tutorial on the use of defensive items. Yeah. If it was Jill, I might have had a much better chance of getting around that. But if you ever want to reset a zombie's position in a certain place, just go out of a door or go into another area. And that will also reset the placement of certain items like that chest of drawers. And that way it'll be partially in the way of that little hall that we just came out of. And the zombie cannot get out. So there are a couple little freebies that we start with in this part of the game. Very easy is also a mode that's really good if you just want to enjoy the game and you don't want to take a lot of damage and you want ammo and healing items to spare. There's a zombie down there, and they won't come at you until you proc their aggression meter. And as we can see, the zombie that was eating this guy is gone. The corpse of your comrade, Kenneth. It looks like he's holding something. It's the film that belonged to Kenneth. I need a video player to see what's recorded on it. So now that zombie's coming towards us, we're going to go through this door. And there shouldn't be any zombies in here ever. Unless maybe you're on one of the higher level difficulties, which I haven't played yet. But on easy and very easy, this room is a freebie. For so long as you leave the crows that come in here later alone. And I'm not sure you can shoot them or not. I haven't tried, but we leave the nice birds as alone as we can. I'm going to take these two healing items. I'm going to combine these. And that's another way to manage your items, is by combining them. And another huge difference between Chris and Jill is that Jill can hold 8 items in her inventory, while Chris can only hold 6, even on very easy mode. And there's nothing to do with that corpse or this cage, so we're going to move on. And we are going to try very quickly to find one of the item boxes so that we can start depositing things. So we're going to go through this door. And you're going to see a zombie on the floor with red feet and red everything else when you come in here. Leave it alone for now. Just go slowly this way. Whoop. And not get caught by this guy, like I just did. That's okay, we're on very easy mode, so it's not a huge issue. Get this arrow. And examine an item. From the status screen, select an item and then select the examine command. The details of the item will be displayed. Go into our inventory, select examine, press X. I'm playing on PS4 or PS5, so I press X. The arrowhead looks like it can be removed. Now we have the arrowhead, made from peridot, sometimes referred to as a poor man's emerald. And we're going to go and use that here in just a second to free up another inventory slot. And right after picking up this handgun magazine, this door is locked. We're going through here. And we will come out on the balcony above the dining room. And there is a zombie on the other side, which we're going to wait for him to come over to us. Also going to pick up this dagger. And as you can see, even though I got my throat kind of, or my shoulder kind of chomped by a zombie, I'm still in green level health. And this zombie actually moves fairly quickly as far as zombies go. Let me see if I can't tell exactly where it is. Which way it's going. It was heading toward that door back there. Okay, it went around the other way, which is what I was afraid it was going to do. But that's okay, we're just going to run over here. And we are going to start pushing this statue. There's an opening in the banister here. And then we are going to push this onto the floor. That will allow us to get an item here in a minute. And here comes the zombie that didn't skip leg day. Whew, come on, man. Use those thighs. And we're just gonna very calmly run to the other side. We don't really need to worry about this guy. We can just let him unlive. I guess you can't really call what he's doing living. Go back out through here, which will lead us to the foyer. And then we're going to head out this door, which will take us to the graveyard. And in normal mode, there are 2 zombies out here, but in very easy and easy mode, at least as Jill, there aren't any zombies. And here we will use our arrowhead, which will then open that. We're going to head down here, and we're going to get one of our first keys to start unlocking doors. We will need, I think, like 5 in total on very easy and easy mode. We're going to take the Book of Curses and examine the Book of Curses. We're going to turn around to the back where we find this little key. This will open the Book of Curses, and we will read a clue to one of the many puzzles of this mansion. Book of Curses. The 4 masks. A mask that speaks no evil. A mask that smells no evil. A mask that sees no evil. A mask that cannot speak, smell, or see evil. When all 4 fall into place, evil will awaken. And as we examine this key, we will see, we turn it around, we see a little sword emblem. This will open all of the doors that have a sword emblem on the knobs. And bear in mind, even on very easy mode, I did hard lock myself into a reset, a complete reset of the game, as Jill, even with my 8 item slot, or 8 item inventory, by not finding one of these keys before I had a bunch of items that I could have gotten rid of but really didn't want to, because I'd never played the game before. Healing items you can just use, regardless of what level your health is. But I didn't know that at the time, and I didn't want to get rid of them anyway. So thankfully I hadn't done much in the game, and I just restarted. I think we can unlock this door. No. Okay. Other side. So we're going to go back up here. We're going to go this way. Hopefully not run into a zomboni. And unlock this door, which will lead us to one of our first item boxes. And there should be at least 1 zombie guarding the hall. But we're gonna run back here really quick. Oop, there's 2. So that's a difference between Jill and Chris on very easy. In Jill, in Jill's scenario, there's only 1 zombie. In Chris's, there are multiple zombies here. And on very easy and easy mode. Oh, never mind. We have auto aim. And another way to deal with zombies. So there's tricks to dealing with these guys. Because they will get back up again. And zombies in Resident Evil, when you kill them, or at least some of them, will get back up, and they will get back up stronger and faster than they were before, which we'll see the results of how that happens here pretty soon. That will lead us back to where that red-footed zombie is, but we're not going to go back there yet. And so the only really ways to prevent them from getting up again are to have a lighter with plenty of kerosene, which we will burn the zombie after we kill it. And here's another example of the difference between Jill and Chris's scenario. In Jill's scenario, there is no zombie right here. But here's our first item box and save room. So we're going to go in here first. But yeah, you either burn them, preferably immediately after you kill them, or you destroy their head, either with a critical hit, or by stomping on their heads if they grab your ankle, or, I shouldn't say or, because that's... Also keep an eye on how much ammo you have in your gun, so you're not having to reload in the middle of shooting it. And there's another way to burn a zombie besides kerosene. There will be a grenade launcher, and it will have incendiary grenades, and you can use those. But mind you, there are very few of those, so you really need to pick and choose when and where you want to use them. You see we get a free first aid spray and some free ink ribbons on this difficulty, and I don't use the survival knife really at all, so that opens up a couple of spaces in our inventory. Also, remember this cabinet. There are several kinds of serum here. Many of them are a sickly color. You will need to find this room and get the serum from this cabinet at a later point in the game. And there's one more item in here that we apparently haven't gotten yet, and that's this. Special instructions for the disposal of dead bodies. We have new information regarding those beings. They may appear to be dead, but in fact, they are able to come back to life. However, there are ways to prevent them from becoming active again. Currently, there are 2 known methods to cease their resurrection. 1, incineration. 2, destruction of the head. If further methods are discovered, you will be notified immediately. Meanwhile, to those of you who still have the will to live, oil has been placed on the first floor of the mansion. Take as much as you need. You'll need something to light it with, which you'll need to find by yourself. So yes, as I was saying, incineration, either getting your lighter and your kerosene, or using incendiary grenades, or blowing off a zombie's head with a critical hit from a gun. You know, the stronger the gun, the more likely it is to have a critical hit. Or a more reliable way of doing that, rather simple in mechanism, that I just discovered, is to let them get a little close and start shooting at their knees. If you can blow out their knees, this will also make it so they will not rise again. And any door of this, here's another difference between Jill and Chris. It's an old-fashioned lock that's rather simple in mechanism. With Jill, you can just open some of these doors, like on very easy and easy mode. Chris, you actually have to find these little items called old keys. And they aren't specific to any one door. They're all for these doors that have that particular bit of flavor text. And you just whatever door you happen to come by, whichever door you want to open at a given point in time, you just use the old key on that door. And it is random when zombos that can transform, can rise again and transform, when they, and as you can see, since we found the ways to destroy a zombie, this zombie body is gone. It's of no consequence, at least on very easy difficulty. You don't have to worry about it. But it is random as to how much time it will take for them to resurrect. It can be, I want to say what I read was like 5 to 30 minutes, or 5 minutes to an hour. I don't remember exactly. Not from the other side. So, since this hallway is really narrow, yeah, go for the knees, and in very easy mode, it only takes a couple or 3 shots to get them to go down the first time. Which is another way of handling zombies you don't necessarily want to kill. You just want to get past them. Unlock this door. You give them a couple, 3 shots, and they'll either kind of flinch, or they will fall down for a second, and you can just run by. There's a zombie there, which we're going to go around, so we hopefully don't wake him up. And there's a zombie here, which again, we are also going to leave alone. And these are all going to be candidates for kerosene. Here's one of our old keys. Can't open this door yet. Alright, and there's a... so we're going to get close. Oh, okay, he's dead. Some zombies will just lay there and then pop up again. And he might later, because we're about to have another cutscene here. Oh, there we go. And see, there he goes. He goes down. And we're going to wait for this guy to come around here. And we are just going to run around this table and leave. There's a really prime example of picking and choosing your targets. And now we're going to try and find the lighter and the kerosene as quickly as physically possible. And this zombie will also be back in its place. And zombies won't come after you until you get close enough in their space to proc aggression. So we can just kind of sneak up on this guy. And shoot him in the knee. Hit him in the head. Hit him in the knee. Hit him in the eye so he can't see. Except these zombies are dead. And they're blind. Or, well, they're not blind. But their eyes are clouded over. So you can't really hit him in the eye. But you can hit him in the head and hit him in the knee, though. And until you get the higher calibers of guns, going for the knees is much more highly recommended. And we're going to go ahead and use one of these old keys here in a second. We're going to go back into the room where we got the first map. The room with the big white statue and the chest of drawers that we can move in front of the hall. Because that is another sword door. Just go ahead and unlock it. And go through this door. And I think there's one more sword door in the foyer that we can open. But we'll get that in a minute. And there's a trick to this hall. If you want to avoid getting bum rushed by zombie dogs, always come through that entrance. With the first, where the first map was, and with the statue. As you can see, that window cracked. If you always come through that entrance, the zombie dogs will never, at least on very easy mode, come into this hall. Zombie dogs are very fast, and they take a lot of bullets. You will very much appreciate having a shotgun or a grenade launcher to deal with them. The handgun pretty much does nothing. But if you always come through that entrance, they will stay out of the hall, and you can pass this way in safety. You can also try going out the front door of the foyer. You will get attacked by a zombie dog, and even on very easy, the first time I played this game, I got my ass killed. Fast. We're going to use one of the old keys here, free up our inventory, and this is going to be a place where we can get kerosene as well as a lot of really good healing items. Check my map. Okay. We're going to go in here because we can get an item in here. By draining this bathtub. It's full of dirty water. Remove the plug. Yes. And we'll have a little cutscene. Chris, now's the time to pull out either your knives or your guns. You have seen these things before. You do not need to freak out. So, a difference between, well, another difference, I should say. Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record on this. When Jill has this same scene, the zombie crawls out of the tub, and she kind of backs up against the sink, and it tries to grab her ankles, and she will automatically stomp on the zombie's head, which will immediately kill it, and we don't have to waste any bullets on it, and there shouldn't be any enemies here yet. And we're going to avoid going in here, which we can do that, but it's better if we don't. And we're going to go out through this door. And this door is a bit finicky. You can go through it from this direction as many times as you want, but the other direction, at least on very easy and easy mode, the handle of the door will disintegrate. And we can't go through that door or the other door right now, so we're going to go through this door and reach another item box and save room. And there's a zombie right there. Get past it real quick. Pick up this herb, which we're going to mix with the other 2 herbs that we have in here. Free up an inventory space and just have a big healing item ready to go. And also shooting the zombies in the knees seems to make them go down a bit faster. Here is our kerosene fuel canteen. And we already have the lighter. I need to reload my gun here real quick. And I'm going to put my healing item in here because on very easy mode, it's not super imperative for us to have it right now. It's empty. I think in Jill's, I want to say in Jill's campaign, it comes already with a couple of charges. Refill the canteen, and then head back out again, because we really don't need to save right now. I didn't aim down, which was my fault. He's already taken a couple of shots. Hopefully that blew out his knees and I won't have to deal with him again. But to show you how the kerosene works, just get this guy out of the way so we don't have to deal. Also, don't step on the bodies as they burn. You might think that's common knowledge or common sense or what have you, but not so much for me. Here's another guy we need to get rid of because this hallway is really slim. Okay, yeah. So that is what the blowing out the knee does. And now that his knee's blown out, he should not come back. So we're going to go... Actually, no. We're going to go another way first because there's an item that we need for the room down that hall. We can't go in that door. It's locked from that direction. Now this door's unlocked. And on this difficulty, you will get handgun ammo to spare. And on easy difficulty, too, I had like over 100 rounds left for the handgun on each playthrough as Jill. There should be plenty of ammo. We're going to pick up this dog whistle. A crumpled memo. Today, Sir Spencer told me to hide something where no one could find it. Well, I had this idea. I figured if I could somehow have it protected by a dangerous animal like the vicious canine that lives here, no one will be able to go near it. As far as I can tell, the mud is always hanging around the second-floor balcony on the west side of the terrace, and you ought to come running at the sound of a dog whistle. This is where you come in. The thing is, I reckon you're the only person that can get near that damn dog without risking a serious mauling. Which means only you can put this collar on him. The object that Sir Spencer wants hidden is concealed inside. You're the only person I can trust with this. Of course, you'll get something out of it as well. Remember that certain item you've always wanted to get hold of? Well, in exchange for your services, I just might be able to get it for you. This could work out well for both of us. John Tolman. And there's another couple of things in here, one we can't get yet, but on this table, we can get this. Botany. Uses of medicinal herbs. It is a well-known fact that there exist many plants that are credited with medicinal healing powers. Since ancient times, mankind has been healing wounds and diseases using various plants. In this book, we will sample 3 herbs that are a native of the Arklay Mountains and briefly outline each of their medicinal qualities. Each herb has a distinct color and a distinct medicinal quality. The green herb recovers physical strength. The blue herb neutralizes natural toxins. However, the red herb has no real effect by itself. We have found that mixing green and red herbs results in a magnified effect. We will outline the effects of red herbs when mixed with other herbs when we have more data. Meanwhile, feel free to experiment on your own, for true knowledge is only acquired through experience. And then we'll come back with that other item here in a bit. But for now, we're going to go to the door at the end of that upstairs hall. We shouldn't be able to unlock this door that we're about to go by yet. Yeah, it's an armor. We need the armor key for this door. But we can go in here. And we can use the wooden plate or pallet or whatever it is that we just found. And on easy and very easy mode, there will be these 2 green herbs plus that red herb in here. And at this fireplace, we use our lighter, which will then put heat through that very obvious representation of the mansion. So we will use this. Then we have to press, after the steam goes away, we press X again. There's a map of the mansion, and we will get a map of the mansion, the 2nd floor. And we cannot open this door yet, so we are going to head back. And we're going to drop off the dog whistle. And one more difference between Jill and Chris's campaign. In the place in the inventory where Chris has the lighter, Jill has a lockpick. And the lighter will take up a place in your inventory alongside the fuel canteen. So yeah, inventory management is even more imperative with Chris than it is her. Drop this off because we haven't unlocked the door leading to the terrace yet. We still need this key, and we definitely still need the kerosene. Yeah, on very easy mode, don't worry about healing items so much. On easy mode, it does become a little more necessary, even though there's really not a lot of difference between the easy mode and very easy mode. The enemies are a bit tougher, and I think there's a bit less ammo and healing items, and you do take a bit more damage. But other than that, really not a huge difference. And there's probably at least one zombie. Nope. Okay, cool. Okay. We need the armor key for that too. On normal mode is Chris, and we need the armor key for that door as well. On normal mode is Chris. There's 2 zombies in this hall. But another good thing that this game does is when you don't need a certain item, like these keys, it will prompt you. Be like, hey, you probably don't need to use this anymore. Do you want to discard? Just pick yes. You will not need them. I haven't encountered, or so far I haven't encountered any bugs where that will hard lock you out of the game. But should not be a problem. Okay, I have 3 openings in my inventory, so we can go ahead and take this. And we can go and take this blue gem, or sapphire. It's just, they just call it a sapphire in the original Japanese. And we can put those in an item box here in a second. But we're going to go back and see how many zombie bodies we need to get rid of. And yeah, again, reminder, you want to take care of this pretty quickly. Okay, so we blew out that zombie's knee, thankfully. So he just disappears on his own. This elevator we can't use yet. Now we're going to go down in here, and there should be at least 1 zombie that we need to incinerate. Why the game doesn't just keep shooting at the body and hit the head, especially since it's not moving anymore, I don't know. That just, there's a logical kind of sense to me. Okay, so definitely need to get rid of him, because we're going to be coming back through here again, and now we need to go refill the fuel canteen. I can smell my food cooking. It should be ready here in a minute. Okay, and that's another armor key. And you don't have to worry about Kenneth popping back up again. He just stays dead. And it's heavily implied as part of the lore that the members of this team of stars, Chris and Jill and Barry and Kenneth, and see, now we have the crows in here. We just leave them alone. If you don't bother them, they won't bother you. It's heavily implied that they have either resistance or straight up immunity to the virus causing the outbreak. So we cut back in here as a shortcut to get back to this item box on this side. Let's just see how many zombies we still have to deal with here. Both of them. Okay, and then we have the one that's down here as well. I'm gonna drop these items off, and then we're gonna run to get some kerosene. And then we are going to deal with these guys. Yeah, there's only a chance to hit the head with the lower caliber guns and blow out the knees as well. And there's really nothing else I need to take with me, so we're gonna keep going. And on some of the harder difficulties, as well as the challenge rounds, you will have to remember what item box you left a certain item in. Just like in the original Resident Evil, which I never played. I was way too young when it came out, and I was a very sensitive young child when it came to horror and death. Like, even as a 30-odd-year-old now, I still cannot watch the movie Mars Attacks. And I know that movie is a comedy. And it's not a really good comedy at that. But the CGI that made the aliens is just so uncanny to me. It creeps the hell out of me. And when I was 3 years old, and I still remember this so vividly, I went to my parents' room because I wanted to hang out with my dad. And he was lying on his bed. It was like a Saturday or something. He was home from work. And he was watching Mars Attacks on his TV. And I walked in at the exact moment that the aliens first started shooting people and incinerating them into skeletons. And I took one look at that, and I ran out of my dad's room, and I did not go back in for like the rest of the day. And I still get this feeling of horror and, oh my god, I really do not want to watch this movie every single time I see that movie or I am talking about that movie. Scarred me as a child. But yeah, if that left a mark on me, as a wee little 3-year-old, the original Resident Evil was probably just a bit too intense. Get more. Oh, it's a handgun magazine, so we could have gotten this before, but that's okay. There's no other way into this hallway that's reliable at this point in the game, so it's not like we were really missing out. And yeah, as you can see, we've gotten like 60 or 70 rounds at the moment. Definitely not having an issue with ammunition. We're not having any ammunitions, as it were. I'm so funny. I'm so punny. I can tell a dad joke like nobody's business. And I'm single and a woman. Yeah, refill the kerosene, which we're going to have to do again here in a second, and go take care of those... all of those bodies near the item box. I think in the actual game lore, only 10% of zombies that don't have their heads destroyed and aren't just incinerated can resurrect. And then 1% of those that are taken down without having boom headshots or having been killed with fire will resurrect again as something even worse. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with those enemies yet because I've been pretty good about keeping on top of everything. But those particular enemies, since we probably won't deal with them in this game, thankfully, they're called lickers. If you're familiar, if you've been in the Resident Evil scene for a while, played more of the games, watched the movies, you might be familiar with what a licker is. But for those who don't know, lickers are, I want to say they're the end stage of the zombie in this game. They don't have eyes. You can sneak past them if you move slowly because they only react to sound. But they can very easily kill you in one hit. So you have to be really careful. Yeah. Burn this guy. And burn this guy. And now we do not have to deal with them, and we just have to go refill the kerosene, which that will be our last refill of that kerosene tub in that one save room. To take care of the zombie at the bottom of these stairs. And then we can move on. And just don't go that way yet. Leave that zombie alone. He will pop up on you. And it's highly recommended that you deal with him when you have your shotgun. It should take about 3 to 4 shots to bring him down. Yeah. In this game, there's the zombie, there's the Crimson Head, which is the next stage, then there's the licker. And I don't know if there's anything after the licker, because I'm not super familiar with Resident Evil. Yeah, this game, this particular remake on my PS5, is the first Resident Evil game that I've ever played. It's not the first one I've seen. I've seen playthroughs of most of the games. And I actually, what really got me wanting to play this one and got me familiar with how it works, was I watched the Game Grumps playthrough of this game on YouTube. And for those of you who don't know who the Game Grumps are, they're a couple of really cool content creators, Dan Avedon and Aaron Hansen. They've been gaming and doing Let's Plays and stuff, and they do all sorts of variety content. They've been doing this stuff for years. They have a whole really, I would say still fairly reasonably thriving business out of it. Kind of like in the vein of Markiplier, they do gaming as humor, and then they aren't like experts in games. They just play whatever they feel like playing, whether they're good at it or not. So if you're trying to watch them for experts playing games, and you're not expecting to die all the time or get stuck on things for a really long time, might want to choose another channel. Their style of humor doesn't always resonate with me. It can get kind of, in my opinion, just juvenile. There's a lot of potty humor and sex humor that just kind of makes me roll my eyes, and it's not like a, oh, the you guys kind of eye roll. It's just like an, this is not my kind of humor kind of eye roll. But on the whole, they're funny. They seem like really sweet guys. The games they play are fun. At least the way they play the games are fun, if nothing else. Oh, and there's some handgun ammo here that we forgot to get before, so there's 15 more bullets, up to 83 now. And this is the last bit of kerosene from this canteen. And so we won't need to come back here for a little while. But, you know, if you can just, you know, sit through that kind of humor, if you like that kind of humor, and you like just a couple of bros broing, shooting the bull, you know? Game Grumps is pretty fun. It's nice to have in the background as nice background noise to laugh at, you know, and just chill. Or to fall asleep to. They do a lot of sleep aid videos. Yeah. Nice guys. Fun channel. At least in my opinion. Maybe give them a try. Although I would much prefer to watch Markiplier. He's kind of in the same vein as they are. Like I said, games is humor. His style of humor doesn't always gel with me that much, but I think he's funnier. I think his energy level gels better with me. Also a big sweetheart. Does a lot of horror game stuff because he gets scared really easily, and his reactions make the games just that much better. Oh, wrong door. Yeah, another really, really good channel for just, you know, sitting and chillaxing, chilling with the villains. And actually, his playthrough of Alien Isolation, there's a video that puts all of his different playlist videos together, and like it's full 10.5 hour, however long he played it. It's a sleep aid for me. You know, I think Alien Isolation is a legitimately scary game. I'm not, like, super scared of it, but, especially with him, you know, hosting the video and being really super funny with all of his reactions. Yeah, just really nice. And I'm actually going to be playing Alien Isolation as a Halloween thing with, one of my cousins here pretty soon, which I'm really looking forward to. After watching so many people play it, I'm really excited about trying it out myself. Also on very easy mode, because I know just how simple of a job it is to get your cheeks clapped in that game. Okay. I forget I've played this game twice, and I still get turned around as to where I need to go next. I'm doing really good on the inventory. So, yeah, still thinking. Oh, okay, there is one more way we can go, and I can... Oh, no, never mind. I don't have any kerosene right now, so I can't do anything with that body at the moment. So if you press... Well, I'm going to go back out here, so I'm not going to draw a zombie up onto me. I don't think he can get out, but I don't want to test that right now. So what we can do is you press R trigger, and that will tell us what... Oh, I forgot to get the whatever it was out of the bathtub, that zombie. I'm like, there's an item in here. And, I have Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of high-functioning autism, and I also have ADHD, and I also have a mild to moderate version of obsessive-compulsive disorder, as well as generalized anxiety and generalized depression. So my mind has goldfish memory out the wazoo sometimes, and you combine that with tunnel vision, and sometimes I can do something and forget what I've just done. So bear with me for just a second. Do as I say, not as I do. The mantra of every parent ever. Not even a parent, I'm a cat. Okay, see? This. An old key, which is exactly the item that I needed. Serendipity. Frabjous day. And now we can open... Well, we're going to go through this hallway so we don't get jumped by zombie dogs down that L-shaped checkerboard hallway. And we're leaving that door alone. Less than 5 minutes left on the recording, and then I can finally eat something. Get my lunch. Okay, we need to go through this door again. Then we're going to go unlock that door near the door, the one that had the 3 zombie bodies that we've already burned. That wasn't the basement kitchen area. We're going to open that door, and that will give us... Actually, wait, no. There's a better door I can use my key on, and I can just deal with that other zombie later. We're not super far off from getting the shotgun anyway, and this is very easy mode, so... There's another door that I can use this old key on that can open that door, and that will give us another area. I think it's this way. I'm not entirely sure. Then once that's done, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna end the recording. Or end the recording and save. It depends on if time runs out or if I end the recording first. Okay, let's double check. Locked from the other side. This should be an armor key door. Yes. We have the elevator and the basement kitchen down there. We can't do anything more down there at the moment. Head back this way. Head back toward I think it's called the medicine room, is where we get the serums, and we have the other save room plus the item box. And we might have an extra crimson head to deal with, but that's okay because it's down in the basement kitchen area and we don't need to deal with it at this point in time. We just really needed to get the zombies here out of the way. Or not in this hallway, but the one we're about to go into. And this is a helmet key door right here, so we can't do anything with it at the moment. And I think I can unlock a room that has more kerosene in it down this hallway. Yeah, using the old key. Unlock this door. The terrace door you really don't need to unlock just yet. This is a more important area. We can get some more items, like this flash and sound hand grenade, which is one of Chris's defensive items, and this broken shotgun, which we will need for one of the rooms we've been avoiding thus far. Here's some more kerosene, refill, and then get the ink ribbons here. And that is all in this room. Whatever rooms are red, they still have items or things you can do. And everything that's that kind of pale olive gray, there's nothing in there that you can... There's no more items to get in those rooms. Less than a minute and a half. So since we have the broken shotgun, I'm going to head back to this other item room, because that's going to be nearest the hall where we need to go. Cut back through here. And on very easy mode as Jill, the red-footed zombie that is in this hall didn't pop up until after I started burning other zombies with the kerosene. And that was Jill on very easy mode. So take that as you will. But one more difference between the Jill and Chris campaigns. The defensive items Jill gets are daggers and... tank controls still get me. Daggers and batteries for a stun gun. Whereas Chris gets daggers and flash grenades. Flash grenades he can just stuff down zombies' throats and blow them up. Whenever they get too attached to him, as it were. Get off me, man. You're clingy and codependent. I don't need toxicity in my life. And I have less than 15 seconds left now, so I'm going to save after this recording ends. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I welcome all feedback, and have a wonderful day. Later!